So, after much thought, I have decided that I'm going to be quitting Raid Shadow Legends. But before I get to why I'm going to be quitting it, I just want to say that I will give away this account if somebody wants it. So if you want this account, this is my own account that I made and been playing for years now. Hardly spent any money, just pretty much on the daily gem pack. Not that it should really matter, but if you want this account, just let me know in the comments why I should give you this account. Just you can say pretty briefly just why I should give the account to you, and I'll be happy to do that. Now, as far as why am I quitting? Well, this is one of the reasons right here. This is one of the reasons right here. See again. The pop-ups. The pop-ups are so annoying. I'm so sick of seeing them. It doesn't make me want to buy anything. It just makes me want to quit the game. Like, I don't mind the game being pay to win, but they don't have to shove it down your throat every single minute. Everything you try and do when you're in the Bastion, you're getting pop-ups constantly. But that's not the biggest reason why I'm quitting. But before I get to that, let me just show you how long I've been playing. So I've been playing at least 270 days. I mean, this is the first month I got to the last login reward section here. Yeah, so I first started maybe 2 years ago, and I liked it a lot at first. They really know how to grab your attention when you first start playing it and get you hooked on it, which is a good thing. But I think we find that once you get past sort of the introductory phase of the game, where you're no longer getting anything, arbiters no longer telling you what to do or anything like that, and you've already beat the game once on normal perhaps, then you start to get to where you're doing more or less the same thing, which is fine if it feels like you're making progress still, meaningful progress. But eventually you get to a point where it's just, you don't feel like you're really making progress anymore, or very, very slow progress. It really starts to slow down once you've already done these things, once you've already beat the campaign on Brutal, once you're beat Doom Tower or things like that, and get stuck on a mission. For example, I'm stuck on the gold arena mission, and I got really no chance of getting past that right now because I just don't have the champions to do it. So once you start getting to that point, that's where you really don't feel like you're making any progress anymore, and you start to question, why are you even still playing? And that's kind of where I am. I mean, I've kind of been at that point for a few months now, honestly, but I just kept grinding it out, hoping things would get better, that I would get a champion that's going to really change my account and let me do the things that I want to do in the game. But that didn't happen. So I just want to talk about the login rewards here first of all. They give you some pretty good stuff initially, I would say. Got a lot of energy, a lot of books. Haiku Tune's quite useful. That's another thing. You think all of these champions here are just going to be amazing, right? When you first start out. Like, I know I couldn't wait to get Yaga. I thought he was just going to be so amazing. Look how cool he looks. But then I get him, and I learned that he's crap. I learned that all my anticipation for getting him was just for nothing, and he's not even worth using. So you can imagine how disappointing that feels, and it feels like I've just been wasting my time and everything. Same for Dark Aethel. Just another crappy champion that you might look forward to getting if you don't know any better, but then when you actually get her, you learn how crappy she is. Same for Lordly Legionary, 10x8 Flower. Like, all these just bad champions in here give you no motivation to log in. And the other problem is, even if you get these good ones, like Dark Alhain, pretty good. Syl, very, very good. Grush, pretty good. And Visix is good, I hear, but I don't know, because I don't have the chickens or anything. And I just kind of gave up ever getting my champions all to level 60, because I just knew it wasn't going to happen without spending a ton of money. So really towards the end of these, basically Syl was the last one that I even got to 60. I mean, well, I did get Grush to 60, but yeah, I did get him to 60 actually, but the point is, I have just a ton of champions I can't use because I don't have the chickens for them. And it's especially frustrating when they take the 5-star chickens out of the daily login reward. As I'm sure everybody knows by now, that was a huge outrage. And reasonably so. I think they should be adding chickens and adding things like that, not removing them. They're going in the exact opposite direction of what they should be doing. They think, just the more stuff they take out of the game and the less stuff they give players, then the more they're going to want to spend. Well, that might be true for some people, but for the whales, really, they don't care. They don't care anyway. It's not a big deal if they get one 5-star chicken a month, because they can just buy a pack of 5 of them for $30 or whatever. It's not even a big deal to them. Who it's really hurting is just the free-to-play players that just play the game for fun, but they still want to make progress. So probably, I don't know, I would say maybe nearly half of their players are probably free-to-play. And so that really just demotivates them to want to keep playing. And although I'm not free to play, I definitely don't buy chickens or anything like that. Really, the only thing I've bought is the daily gem pack. So to summarize here, just them not giving enough resources, and in fact removing resources, is a big problem, and the pop-ups are a big problem. But aside from that, the other big reason that I want to quit this game is the time investment that it takes. Not just on a large scale, but on a daily basis. The missions, those are fine. The challenges, those are all fine, because I can just do these whenever I want. And they're fun. They're kind of fun to progress through. Now, I'm not saying they're perfect, but I really think the problem here, if anything, are the quest. The daily quest have become just a chore. They're not fun. Really, they're only fun for maybe the first week. After that, they're just a chore. They're not fun anymore. Same thing with the weekly and even the monthly quest, and especially the advanced quest. I hate doing the advanced quest. I never do them. They hardly feel like they give me anything really, other than the free energy if you actually have the patience to do all of them. But honestly, just all these quests should just be removed. Just completely remove them all. They're not fun. They're just a chore. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on that. But the daily quests are not really where your biggest time sink is going to be anyway. No, your biggest time sink is going to be, just pick any number of these things, and it could be campaign. Yeah, you're going to spend a lot of time here in the campaign on brutal, farming for your food. So, that can take a bit of time, but actually not as much. It's not really that big of a problem if you have like Fellhound or something like that. But again, you don't just have limitless supplies of food that you can level up even if you have the energy. So that's just more of a resource problem. Dungeons are going to be probably your biggest time sink. Whether you're farming the potions, or the Minotaur, or Spider's Den, or just really any of the dungeons. Unless you have an extremely good team, like an endgame team that can do these in just a minute or a few seconds. Well, maybe not a few seconds, but like 30 seconds or something. I definitely know it's possible for like Spider's Den and whatnot, but if you don't have those, then these runs are going to be taking minutes and possibly even like 10 minutes of your time. Like you can see here, this is a couple minutes for this. 8 minutes, you could see was my best time on that one. Minotaur, 1 minute, so I got that down pretty fast. And then Spider, I clear these kind of randomly. I can't clear them consistently, but I got that down to 1 minute. I think Ice Golem might be my worst one. 4 minutes. Okay, that's 1 minute. But regardless, when you have just tons of energy, then this kind of thing can take a really long time. And even if you don't have to be at your computer the whole time, you still have to, I can't really do anything else on my computer while this is open. Like, I can't have another game running or anything like that because it's just going to take too much resources on my computer and everything. So I don't want to be on the game all day, whether I have to be at the computer or not. So dungeons, faction wars I find extremely annoying to do as well. I don't bother doing it anymore. I did it briefly, just only when I really, really needed glyphs. But I think it's pretty terrible. I don't think it's fun whatsoever. I think the rewards are pretty trash, honestly. Yeah, you get the glyphs, and you can get the forged materials, which is alright, but they just need to speed this up. It takes way too long. It takes way too much of my time to do it, which admittedly they are supposedly turning multi-battles and super raids or something like that in the next patch for this, but it's too late for me. It's just not enough to make me want to keep playing. Not to mention, if you want to talk about getting Lydia, like it's really kind of out of reach for a free-to-play player. Like, sure, it's in theory possible, but you're talking about years and years of playing then to be able to have that kind of champion roster to actually get to Lydia. Years and years of playing. I would say at least 5 years of like playing every day to have any real chance of getting there. Arena takes a lot of time, and yeah, really the only reason to do it is for the Great Hall. The arena can be somewhat fun, but for me, not particularly where I want to spend my time. And definitely not the tag team arena. I think everybody can agree that this is the worst game mode in the whole game. The rewards aren't that good. It's just not fun whatsoever. And then Clan Boss has probably the best rewards, but it can take a long time. Can't take a long time to, do your 2 keys on here. I don't even have an unkillable team, and it takes me like 10 or 15 minutes per key. And then Hydra, just kind of a joke. It's not really worth talking about. But at least it doesn't take that much time. It doesn't take too much time, really. Like, I can auto it. I'm only going for the lowest chest. But, yeah. So I pretty much just let that run on auto, and it doesn't take too much of my time, but... and then Doom Tower takes a ton of time. And I'm not even talking about farming the bosses. I'm just talking about moving up the floors. Because that was really the only thing motivating me to do Doom Tower. I didn't care about the forge materials or whatever. I didn't really care about that too much. I just wanted Archmage Helmet, which I still do not have, even though I've been working on it for probably 3 months. Doing the Doom Tower every day as much as I can. Still don't have them. So that's basically the time issue. But really, the biggest reason I'm quitting, and I'm sure many people are quitting, is because of this. The shards are terrible. They're extremely pay to win. You don't have really any chance of getting what you want as a free-to-play player. You really don't. Unless you're just willing to invest years and years of your life to get the champions that you want, then you're just not gonna get those champions. Unless you're extremely lucky. There have been some people who get, Duchess or Krisk as free-to-play players, but I think what makes the game so appealing when you first start out is you come to the index here and you see all these champions. You see all these really cool champions that you want to get. You look at their skills and they look so cool and you want to get them all. And so that kind of helps motivate you to play. But when you just keep going and you get, just maybe a few ancient shards a week or something, just by doing your daily quest, and maybe a void shard and a sacred shard every now and then from the clan boss, and then an event finally comes, a 2x event, and you don't get anything. You don't get anything good that you wanted. And you just keep doing this process of just gathering up the materials, aka the shards. You keep saving them up, till the 2x event comes around again, still nothing. And you just keep doing this and doing it, and it just becomes more and more frustrating and disappointing that you still haven't got any champions that you really want to use. Because I know, for me, what attracts me to this game the most, what I really want to do in this game, is to be able to try all the different champions out. That's what people want to do. They don't want to just have to pick from, some mediocre champions, or just have to spend all these resources building some kind of crappy champion. They want to be able to mess around with a big variety of champions, and ultimately have every champion. But then when you realize that that's not going to be possible without spending years and years of your life or thousands of dollars, then it's just like, what's the point? What's the point? Because I'm never gonna get to where I can actually try all these things out. I'm never gonna get to where I have a cool block reviver on the ice golem I can try, or two. I was gonna say royal guard, but actually he's not very good for this. But I think you get my point. Like, that's what I want to do in the game. I want to have all these different kinds of champions with these unique passives or these unique abilities, and see how I can put them together in different ways, and see if I can find some crazy strategies to beat some of these bosses. But when I can't do that, then it's just like, okay, I just have to use my same team that I've been using for a year now. I mean, not literally, but it might as well be, because I'm not getting really any new champions. I mean, I did get this guy recently, Harvest Jack, but again, don't know where I'm going to use him. But again, I don't even have the chickens or any kind of thing to level him up anyway, so he might as well not even exist, because I'm not going to be able to use him for months or who knows how long. Like, you can see here how many legendaries I have that I'm never going to be able to use because I don't have that much chickens. Or if I am going to use them, it's going to take me, months and years of saving up chickens. And just ultimately, I'm never going to really have what I want. And the books are a huge problem as well, obviously. The only legendary I think I have booked is Ninja and Tatura. I think are the only ones I have fully booked, or actually even partially booked. I don't have any of these other ones booked whatsoever. And the other extremely annoying thing is just a silver. You can see just how many artifacts I have here that I can't use because I don't have the silver to upgrade them. Just everything costs tons and tons of silver to upgrade because they want you to buy silver. That's really what it comes down to. Everything in the game, they short you, or they don't give you enough of it. You just always feel like you're barely getting by. It's just always this grind, this non-stop grind of trying to get enough resources just so you can even use your champions. And when you finally get champions you can use, then you're just kind of stuck with them because you don't have more resources to invest in new champions. Or you just aren't even getting any champions worth investing in the first place. And so basically, this is why I'm quitting. It's not just due to frustration of one thing or one event. Because I know a lot of people, they'll have like one bad shard event where they didn't get anything, and well, maybe some people anyway will just have like one, specific thing. They pulled 100 shards or 200 shards or whatever, and they didn't get anything. Well, that's just called bad luck. But at this point, it's not even luck. It's not luck. It kind of is with the... It technically is luck. Like, sure, you could just pull back-to-back legendaries and get, everything you wanted, but realistically, that's not going to happen. It's going to take years to get what you want. And so, I just came to the realization that it's not worth it to me anymore to do this grind for years just so I can get to the point where I'm actually doing the things that I want to do in the game. It's just not worth it anymore. Years of grinding and doing these things that are not fun just so I can get to the thing that I actually want to do. It's just not worth it to me anymore, so that's basically why I'm quitting. Yeah, really the only way I would come back is if they fix the shards, honestly. That's the other thing, like just the 10 times events and all these kind of scam events. All this kind of the stuff that just to kind of get you hooked and want to keep playing, just, you know, thinking that there's a chance you could get something. But really all it is just to make you more frustrated so you'll give in and spend money. But I'm not going to do that. I'm absolutely not going to do that. And obviously I wouldn't recommend anybody else to do that. Just out of sheer principle of the game, they need to fix this. They need to fix it. Like, these chances, it's just not good enough. They either need to give us more shards, or they need to increase these chances. Like, this literally needs to be like 10 times the chance of what it is. So, for an ancient shard, really should be like at least a 50% chance to get an epic, and like a 10% chance to get a legendary. For sacred, I would say just honestly 100% chance of getting a legendary from a sacred. And then void, void should just be the same then as ancient. Yeah, pretty much just the same as the ancient then. So 50% chance for epic and 10% chance for legendary. That would make me actually want to play. Because again, even if you get a legendary, it doesn't mean that you can really do everything that you want in the game. Because you want to have, you know, ideally, you want to collect all of the legendaries. And you want the good ones, like Lysandra, over Pixneal. So if you spend a month saving up your shards and you get a Pixneal, well, how do you think that's going to make the player feel? Do you think it's going to make them want to keep playing the game, or do you think it's going to make them want to quit? But even so, it shouldn't take a whole month to get one good champion. It shouldn't take a month to get one champion. And it shouldn't take a month to get a champion from 50 to 60 and fully ascended and masteried. It shouldn't take a month to do that either. But it pretty much does. If you're free to play, getting the chickens is the biggest problem. And takes the most amount of time because you can really only get them from either the mystery shards or from getting just some rare champions from your ancient shards, which you're not going to get that many of. So, although they have done a lot of improvement in the game, it's just not enough, and I think they need to keep doing more. They need to keep fixing it, and they need to stop being so greedy, most importantly. They need to stop being so greedy and increase the chance on the shards, and then maybe I'll actually want to come back and play. But since I don't see them doing that probably ever, I will give this account away if anybody wants it. So again, just let me know in the comments if you want this account. Tell me why you want it and why I should give it to you, and I'll be happy to do that.